Basically, it's a huge grammar/language lesson to help them show how words can help when we break them apart and look at the bits and pieces. That actually helps us understand the meaning of the word, which then helps us understand the comprehension of the entire story. Hey everyone, welcome back for another episode in Adventures of Comprehension. My name is Ciera Harris, and I come to you every week to talk about all things reading comprehension. We're going to be talking about 6 small group activities that you can do with your ELL students. All right, friends, let's jump right in. Activity number 1 is called word surgery. Word surgery is a great activity. You want to make sure you do it with very short text because your focus is really the different words throughout the text and then the overall basic comprehension of the paragraph. What you will do is you will present your students with a very basic text that has a few new words that you know they probably do not know the meaning of. And what you're going to do here is you are going to focus on word surgery, meaning you're going to break this word apart. You're going to cut it apart into bits and pieces to show them how words are put together. Basically, it's a huge grammar/language lesson to help them show how words can help when we break them apart and look at the bits and pieces. That actually helps us understand the meaning of the word, which then helps us understand the comprehension of the entire story. So you're going to look at things like part of speech. You are going to look at what form the word is in. Is it a noun form? Is it in verb form? You're going to look at things like suffixes and prefixes. And even if the word doesn't have them, you're going to go ahead and add them on. You're going to look at all of those bits and pieces. Look at the ly, look at the root word or base word. Look at every bit and piece you can to break that word down and also to add more to it both ways to let your students see how this word changes, all the different forms that it could possibly be, and then how that word and its parts break down and how that helps us to comprehend the word and how it also impacts the story. All right, let's move into activity number 2 for helping your ELL students in small groups. This is called mystery reading. This is really to help with their listening comprehension and their oral comprehension. So what you're going to do is you're going to give 2 students the same exact text, and you're going to label different sections of the text. So like, for example, paragraph number 1, paragraph number 2, paragraph number 3, and paragraph number 4. All right? They both have the same text and they both have the same words, but student number 1's version is missing a few words throughout the story. And student number 2's version is missing different words throughout the story. It could be a phrase, it could be a single word, it can be an entire sentence. You are going to have them read the story back and forth. So if I'm student number 1, I would read paragraph number 1. Student number 2, aka my partner, they have missing parts in paragraph number 1. So what their job is to read along and listen, and then when they get to the missing word, phrase, or sentence, they need to write it in. So then you flip and switch roles. So activity number 3 is called synchronized sequencing. What you're going to do is you're going to give all of your students in small groups a whole bunch of Post-it notes. And on their Post-it notes, they are going to draw a picture of what happened in the beginning, the middle, and the end of a story that you just read. On one Post-it note for what happened at the beginning, another Post-it note for what happened in the middle, and another for what happened at the end of the story. Then you're going to basically combine them. You're going to start with all of your beginning Post-it notes, and you're going to have all of the students explain what their drawing represents, and you're going to pull those Post-it notes up and put them in sequential order. Now, you may have 2 or more students who drew the exact same thing, and that's fine. You'll just combine those Post-it notes on top of one another. But what you're going to find is student number 1 may have drew a picture about one event that happened at the beginning, and student number 2 may have drew a picture about another activity or event that happened at the beginning. So you're going to then put those in sequential order. Then you're going to repeat that with the middle, and you're going to repeat that with the end. And then you're going to talk about what important events in our sequential post-it note drawing of the story, what is missing. Okay, so then you can go through and you can figure out, we've got this event, this event, this event for the beginning, but there was one more kind of important thing that happened at the beginning that we kind of want to talk about. And so then you would input a fourth post-it note and maybe write one sentence to represent that event. You would repeat that for the middle and the end, and then finally you have an entire representation of the most important events in the story via post-it notes. If you have students who maybe are a little bit more advanced in your ELL and you're working on writing more, then you can have them draw a picture, but then also write a sentence to represent their picture, or simply just take the drawing out completely and have them just write a sentence. Hey everyone, so sorry to interrupt, but I want to make sure that you are loving the content coming from Ciera Harris Teaching on YouTube. So make sure if you are loving this to subscribe and also like and comment below. I would love to hear from you. Activity number 4 is just a simple vocabulary scavenger hunt. So in a vocab scavenger hunt, it's very basic. You would provide those students with a passage, a text of some sort, and it has individual missing words throughout the story. What then you would do is you would hang those words up all throughout the room, or if you have a small group area, maybe you just kind of hang them up around your small group area where they can sit and do the activity too, kind of in silence, or they can get up and look around. It's fine as well. That's up to you. And they're going to figure out which word fits where in the story. It's a fantastic activity that focuses on context clues, overall comprehension, and vocabulary all at the same time. So you can even do this whole class because it's a fantastic activity, not just for ELL students, but for all of our students, really when focusing on context clues and vocabulary, but specifically for your ELL students because it really gives them a chance to look at what's happening in the story, what's happening specifically in this sentence. What do I know about this word? I can even use my word surgery skills and strategies to break that word apart. What do I know about it? And where does it fit into the story to make it make sense? We've got 2 more left. Activity number 5 is called Scribble Reading. You are going to read a text, and then you are going to go back through the story and focus on key vocabulary, and you're going to have the students illustrate single pictures to represent each one of those words. So in the end, it will create a visual representation of the important parts of the story. Then you're going to reread the text one more time. And then you're going to have the students using their pictures explain what happened in the story by pointing to the pictures and retelling. All right, friends, we are ready for our last activity. We're ready for activity number 6. Activity number 6 tonight for working with EL students in small groups. This one's called Book Sentence Scramble. So after reading a book or a story, you're going to have copies of the sentences cut apart from the story. So this would probably work with a less wordy picture book. Otherwise, you're going to have lots of sentences to type up. So you want to focus more on those more simple picture books, or this really would not work with a one-pager text that you get off of like ReadWorks. You want every page to have one sentence, maybe 2, and a picture. Okay, so we're talking very basic. So then you are going to have typed up every sentence in the story, and you're going to have them cut apart sentence by sentence. So then what you're going to do is you're going to have a photocopy of the pictures in the book. And you can simply do this by presenting the book to them, just having the sentences covered up, or you can have actually photocopied the pictures in the book. So now your students are going to go through picture by picture. They're going to recall what's happening in the story, and they're going to match the sentence with the picture. Basically, they are recreating the book. I know, especially if we get up into older grades, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, and we're trying to support our ELL students, we may not have books that work well with this activity. If you don't have books that match it, then what you would want to do, and this is a perfect twist, you can focus on the main idea or the main point or the main event, the main focus of that page, and kind of summarize that into one sentence. And you type that summary up for each page. I've gone through 6 different activities to help with your ELL students. Thank you for listening tonight. I hope you walked away with at least one, right? At least one activity that you're excited to try out. Let me know in the comments before you go which activity or activities are you going to try with your ELL students. So thanks for joining. I will talk to you all next week, and I'll see you then. Bye, friends.